Well, hey, how you doing? Happy Friday to you. It's Brandon Devnich here from i3D Themes and Pegasus.com with this week's interactive number 106, where we share what we're passionate about and what we've been working on in the i3D Themes design and code labs. I hope you've had a fantastic week. I'm surprised I still have any fuel left in me after this week, though. I tell you, it's been nuts. It's been crazy, and I'm excited to tell you about it because it has been a phenomenally? It's been an exceptionally crazy good week. So I'll start off with Monday. Monday's a holiday here in Canada. It was the holiday in lieu of Remembrance Day, which was on Sunday, on the 11th. But, I worked anyways. It's a good thing I was in the office first thing on Monday morning anyways. Because I noticed, actually, I slept in a little bit too. Normally I start at 5, but I decided, I got up 5, started the shower and went, I'm not doing this, I'm going back to bed. Everybody else is sleeping, it's a holiday, I can do an extra couple hours sleep. So I did. And then when I got up at 7, there were a lot of messages from Dove, Jason Dove, who was already hard at work. Jason is our SEO and marketing man. And he's like, dude, why are you so late? Sending me messages. You need to look at this. Something has happened. Oh boy, here we go. He says, the Google Insights tool has changed. Scores are dropped. Where are you? The one time I decided to sleep in. So as I'm getting ready to go to work, make sure you grab the coffee. It's really important. Take a moment. Think about it. Zen out. I'm like, you know what? I think this has something to do with what I saw last week. I was running some scans on somebody's site, and I really noticed that the load time for the site was for mobile seemed to be, they were giving it not a good score when it seemed to be just fine. I'm like, I wonder if something's up with that. I get into the office, I realize they have completely upgraded their Google PageSpeed Insights tool from version 4 to, it is a completely different version to version 5. And this new version, they have completely moved the goalposts, so to speak. On Sunday night, Pegasus was getting about 99 out of 100. It was getting 99 out of 100 for desktop. It was getting 99 out of 100 for mobile. They went and shifted that, and suddenly I'm getting 39 out of 100 for mobile. Desktop score was unchanged. So if you think about this, it's like you're playing football, right? And you get booted back to the, what would we call that, the 61-yard line. You were on the 1-yard line just about to make a touchdown, and you got booted back to 61. Some sort of penalty, I don't know. And so that's where we were on Monday, 39 out of 100 for mobile. And I was like, what? And then I realized, well, this is a completely different version. So I checked to see if their API for developers was available for version 5. And it wasn't publicly available, but I knew where to go find it. So I went and logged in, scanned the Pegasus site. I'm like, indeed, they are giving us some poor scores. But the data that they were giving back was exceptionally interesting. They were giving us timing information. They were giving us all sorts of new opportunities. They were giving us all of this rich data that I really wanted to get my hands on and didn't know how to get my hands on for Pegasus 2.0, which is where we were going to be incorporating a bunch of timing. What we wanted to incorporate was timing stuff right in the page of the plugin to give people an idea of how fast their pages are loading. And what the improvement is compared to what, not having Pegasus installed. Seeing a score, like maybe your score was 50 out of 100 before and now it's 100 out of 100, that makes you feel good. But it doesn't really tell you exactly how many seconds your visitors are saving. So that was our plan for Pegasus 2.0, to include the timing information within your pages. But I had no idea how we were going to get that. We had a couple ideas, but it was going to be pretty labor intensive to set up. And then here I am, Monday, November 12th, and I got myself an early Christmas present. Thank you, Google. And I realized what I was looking at, the recommendations from Google, there was some really weird stuff, like stuff I was not even aware of. Like they wanted us to do a whole bunch of new things. Just when you think you couldn't speed up web pages anymore, they're like, no, there's more work to do. And you're like, really? I don't think so. Because it was our plan in version 2.0 to incorporate data from the Lighthouse testing tool, which is in fact what Google PageSpeed Insights tool is based off of, is Lighthouse. Not Lightspeed, Lighthouse. And it helps web developers see where the bottlenecks are in their web applications. It evaluates web pages and progressive web apps, I think that's the term, and gives you an insight into how you can make your applications and your websites faster. But a lot of it would require you to redesign your website from the ground up. That was my professional opinion last week anyways. But here I am on Monday morning going, I'm going to have to change my professional opinion and figure out how on earth are we going to be able to do this, because I can't sell a product if I'm saying the best you can get is 39, because that was our Pegasus.com webpage. So I had to get very creative and build a whole bunch of new features. And as of today, we are now at 92 out of 100 for mobile page speed for Pegasus.com. I can get it to 96 if I disable Google Analytics. I figure 92 is pretty good, considering where we're at. And there may be other things that we can do in the future to sneak that up a little bit more. And in fact, probably not quite a year ago, probably about 8 months ago, mobile page speed scores were at 92 for Pegasus. And so I imagine that we will be creeping those up even more. But we created a whole bunch of new mechanisms. And by we, I really mean me, but I'm just using the general term here. And exciting stuff. Everything from deferring unused CSS, lazy loading background images. I didn't even think that was a thing. But Google says, you gotta learn to lazy load your background images. Are you kidding me? Background images? Okay. So I came up with a concept to do that a little bit earlier today, and proof of concept now works. I've got a brand new generation for deferring JavaScript, which is much faster and all around way better. It was a concept that I had said, well, maybe someday I'll figure out how to write that. Well, when you're forced to do that stuff, when you're on the 61-yard line and 10 seconds to the end of the game or whatever, yeah. So a 12-point gain on that feature update, 12-point gain on the unused critical CSS or unused CSS. Disabling Google Fonts for mobile, that was another 12-point gain just about. There's a whole bunch of things that you never even think that you had to do. Basically, I think we shaved off close to somewhere between 15 and 20 seconds of the load time for a mobile visitor on 3G. It went from like 20 seconds down to 5 seconds, under 5 seconds for the Pegasus homepage, which is a pretty big homepage. Anyways, very excited. And while I was doing this, my man Colin was madly trying to get all his projects done this week because he's taking 2 weeks off. Of course, all this happens just when he's going to take 2 weeks off. So I'm going to spend the next week madly juggling phone calls, support, all the stuff that he does, because he is the voice. He is when you call in, he is customer service number one. He's the guy. He's the guy that helps everybody. I'm just the guy that breaks stuff in the background, and occasionally we'll fix something. And I do these videos, but he's taking 2 weeks off. I hope he doesn't retire at the end of the 2 weeks. I hope this isn't one of those, I'm taking 2 weeks off. By the way, this is my 2 weeks warning. No, it wouldn't be, because it's not sunny outside and it's not golf weather, so I know that's not going to happen. Oh, he'll be back. I hope he's back. Please come back. Colin, come back. 2 weeks. That's all you're allowed. 2 weeks. No more. Yeah. So he survived 2 weeks without me, which is not that hard, really, because I don't do anything. in the summertime when I took the family on a family road trip for 2 weeks from here to Drumheller, Alberta, and back in an RV. We all survived that. I hope you survive the next 2 weeks. In any case, here's the TLDR, the too long, didn't read, the summary. It was crazy this week with the goalposts that Google had moved as far as the Google PageSpeed Insights update to their tool. And that's okay because it's so much rich data that we get to use now. The web pages are going to be way faster for mobile, way faster. And it's only going to be good things for everybody that uses our product. So if you are a Pegasus user, know this. We are on it. We should have a new release. I'm hoping maybe not by the end of the next week, maybe the week after, but definitely within the next 2 weeks, we're going to have the new patch out there. And nothing has changed as far as your pages are concerned as far as actual load time. It's just the perception of their score for mobile has changed. But we're going to change that. It's going to be pretty awesome. It's actually really awesome. And that's that. So anyways, thanks so much for joining me. Hope you've had a fantastic week. Hope it hasn't been nearly as crazy as it has here. And if it has, well, I'm sorry. But it is the weekend. Take some time off. Enjoy it with your families or your friends or whatever. And we'll talk to you again next week. Hopefully, if I've survived the week and I'm still alive by Friday. Anyways, thanks so much for joining me. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.